Okay, let us look into this particular example. I hope all of you have your pen and book with you. Please do copy this particular problem. I have already typed it and come in order to save the time. Please note this problem. Consider an industrial scenario where there are two processes to be carried out parallelly upon the activation of two yard switches. So let me tell you what exactly is the meaning of the different input and output devices that you are going to use here. Upon the activation of two yard switches, now the process 1, okay, which is to be activated by a yard switch 1. A similar example we have taken in the previous class, but that was a generalized example. So here let us be little specific with respect to the type of the example, which resembles some of the actions that take place in a typical industrial scenario, a part of it maybe. So your process 1 goes something like this. A motor has to be turned on when two sensors give momentary outputs, and the same motor has to be stopped after receiving a signal from a liquid level indicator. The turning off of the motor has to turn on two indicators. Please try to understand this process 1. One motor is there which is to be activated by two sensors when two sensors give momentary output. So this is a very important point to be noted. And momentary output means it is like the output which remains for a short time and it will go off. But despite of the output goes off, your motor should continue to run, and the motor should be turned off only when it receives one more signal from the liquid level indicator. I will depict these things after having read the problem statement. Then the process 2, which is to be activated by one more switch, which I refer to it as yard switch 2. So this is the action or the process goes something like this. A gate has to be opened when a position sensor operates. A gate has to be opened when the position sensor operates. Position sensor operates, and here also there are small spelling mistakes. Okay, that I will change. You can copy down these problems. A gate has to be opened when a position sensor operates to allow a crane to move inside the second yard, and once the crane is moved in, the gate has to be closed. So this is another typical practical case where a barrier kind of thing, right? It should get opened the moment all of you must have seen these things in the toll gates. Okay, so your vehicle goes there, you have to stop because the barrier will be in the closed position. The moment your the scanner there, right, scans your FASTag, or after you pay the necessary fees there, when those people push the appropriate button there, the barrier gets opened. So now here what we are trying to do is we are trying to identify the position of a crane by virtue of the position sensor. The moment the crane goes to a particular position before the barrier, it has to get opened. The moment the crane passes through the barrier has to again get closed, right? And one more action is required to be carried out there, that is, a main gate has to be closed after an alarm signal is received. So this is the second action in the second process. The first action happens to be opening of the barrier the moment a vehicle or crane, whatever it is, right, comes in there. The moment the crane goes inside, the barrier has to be closed. Then after that, a main gate has to be closed after an alarm signal is received. So this is again simple, one rung where you have one input device and one output device. So devise a ladder diagram and write the instructions, for which you have to use the master control relay and set reset coils. So here this particular kind of problem can be solved using the different school of thoughts, but here you have been specifically asked to use the master control relay and also the set reset coils. So somewhere in your ladder diagram, both master control relay as well as the set reset coils should appear. Then only you have the weightage in solving this particular problem, right? So now let us try to see. I hope all of you have copied this. Have you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will try to solve this problem, and solution of this problem is not a big issue because we have already seen these kind of things in our previous class. Okay, how you will go ahead with these things. But here the interpretation of the problem is very, very important. How do you interpret this particular problem? So now you have got two yard switches which will take care of the initiation of the process 1 and process 2. It may be something like this. So let me call this as yard switch 1. So this is something like this, YS1 I will write here, and this takes care of the process 1. Similarly, the yard switch 2 will take care of process 2. Now when I say like this, you know what exactly the process 1 does there. The process 1 basically is to turn on a motor. It has to turn on a motor when two sensors operate. That means your S1, sensor S1 and sensor S2 operate, and please note that these sensors give a momentary signals. Momentary signal in the sense it could be in the form of a push button switch or something like this. It may be a kind of push button switch. This is open, so now it is going to be pressed, something like this, right? So whenever I speak about the momentary signal, you have to recall what kind of methods we had used to solve this kind of problems is to make use of the latch circuits, right? So probably this you should be able to understand. Now when both switches momentarily operate, right, so it may be something like this. This is the switch 1 and switch 2. You have got a latch here, and you may have one more switch here which is to turn off the motor, which is a normally closed switch. So let me call this as switch 1, switch 2. This is liquid level indicator, if I am right. Yes, the motor stops after the liquid level reaches certain predetermined value, right? So it may be something, a kind of action which is going to take place like this. So you have got a pipe here, okay? So this motor will get turned on. Let us say that there may be one sensor which is the pressure sensor, another sensor may be a temperature sensor. When both momentarily simultaneously become on, right, so you start this motor. So this motor has to be turned off only when the liquid level reaches this particular value. This could be a kind of situation what we can match here, right? Then followed by that, what is being said is the turning off of the motor will turn on two more indicators. The moment this motor is off, right? So you will have turning on of two more indicators. Maybe that comes in your next run. So this is indicator 1 and indicator 2. Please try to connect them in parallel only. Many of you have done some mistakes in your IA tests where you have connected two motors to turn on in series. That is not the practice generally, right? So you will have to connect any output devices in parallel. So these two indicators will have to be turned on depending upon some signal which you receive, and this signal could be the liquid level indicator signal itself, because the moment the liquid level indicator gives the signal, the motor turns off, and the same signal can be used here also to further turn on two more indicators. So this is what is going to happen as long as the first part is concerned here. Anyway, we will write this in detail. Then your second case or the second process, a gate has to be opened when the position sensor operates. Let us say that you have a kind of thing which again comes later also in our discussion. So let us say that there is a position sensor here. You know how exactly a position sensor works. So when some obstacle comes here in between, right, whatever the signals or whatever the light that is being emitted from the transmitter to the receiver, it will be stopped, and accordingly there will be change in the signal, right? So this change in the signal will be treated as the output in order to open a barrier. So let us say that there is a barrier here, something like this. Okay, so of course it is a motorized barrier. Now what basically we are doing is, this signal, whatever we are going to get, the position signal 1, so this is going to activate the motor. What kind of motor, how does it operate, for how much time does it operate, that is not concerned to us for the time being. We are only into the logical part of it. So there is one input here, so that will activate the barrier, and this barrier gets opened. Now the crane moves inside, and let us say that there is one more position sensor somewhere here. Okay, the moment the crane comes here, okay, so this signal, the signal from position sensor 2, that is to again close this particular barrier. So this is the initial position of the crane wherein your barrier gets opened. This is the final position of the crane where your the barrier gets closed. So this has to be done with the help of set reset coil. You can also do it with the conventional switches and output devices, right? But you have been specifically asked here to do it with the help of set reset coil. And so whenever some action has taken place here, in this particular case no other action takes place except the closure of the barrier. But in some other practical cases, after you actuate the barrier, you may have some more rungs coming in between also. Later you can have the reset, but this is a specific example wherein the barrier should get opened depending upon a kind of signal. Then after some time the barrier has to get closed depending upon one more signal which you are going to receive from some other kind of sensor. So this is one case. The second case happens to be close the main gate. It may be somewhere else, right? So it is not related to this. So this may be somewhere here. Close the main gate upon receiving an alarm signal. So it may be a fire alarm or a buzzer, a kind of thing. At 6 o'clock you have to close everything, right? For example, in a industrial scenario. So after the siren rings here, so this door has to be closed. This is the second task here, right? So here this can be implemented very easily. So you have got one input device and you have got an output device. Now the two processes here are to be actuated by the yard switch 1 and yard switch 2, because these are to be executed parallelly. They are the two different processes. Had it been the sequential operation, then probably you would not have required the presence of the master control relay here, because one after the other if it takes place, right? So then there is no point in taking master control relay. Now certain rungs in the ladder are to be executed once, and certain more rungs, the other rungs, are to be executed depending upon some other situation. It is like having the the logical 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, right? It is a kind of the multiplexing operation or the decoding operation. But after that some actions take place. So now I have two switches here. I can have 4 different combination. Now I am taking care of only the process 1 and process 2, which have got their own executions here, 0 0 0 1 or something like this. Okay, so now for these things, so we will have to write the ladder diagram. So now before we go into writing the ladder diagram, let us try to earmark the different input and output devices very correctly. Even in the examination also you are supposed to do this like this only. Otherwise one X400 may be dedicated by one person to one task, the other person will dedicate it for some other task. It becomes very difficult to evaluate. So therefore let us be very specific. So now the yard switches, whatever I am speaking about, yard switches. So YS1, let us say that this is X400, and YS2, let us say that this is X401. Let us be very specific about the selection of these things. Okay. So now when you come to the process 1, you have got two sensors there. Sensor 1, let us say that its output is X402, then sensor 2, its output is X403. Then after that we have got one liquid level indicator. We have got one liquid level indicator. So that is also of course an input signal. So let us take this as X404. So far we have come across 5 switches. Okay, and after this, now the gate has to be opened when a position sensor, right? Let us say that the position sensor 1 is again an input device. Let me call this as X405. Then the position sensor 2 is X406. And any other input switches are left now? Yeah, you have got one more, that is the alarm signal. Alarm signal. So let me call this as X407. So these are the different input switches. And these are 2 here, and I have got 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6. So there are totally 8 switches which should come in your ladder diagram, and as long as the output devices are concerned, or output devices, so what are the output? Two master control relays to represent MCR1 and MCR2. Okay, these are also you can consider momentarily as the output devices. Then one motor. So this motor I will take as Y430. Two indicators. One, that is Y431, indicator 2, Y432. This is as long as the first process is concerned. The turning off of the motor turns on two indicators. Read the question carefully. Then a gate has to be opened when the position sensor operates. Okay, now opening of the gate, that is let us say that it is the motor Y433. Then the same motor, this is open, this is closed. You don't have any other output device. The same output device has to be operated, and that again depends upon, you may be having a motor here. So that motor will operate to open the gate. Now how do you close the gate? See, when you have the barrier, something like this, so this is a different thing which I am writing here. This is the barrier. So now this barrier should get opened like this. This barrier should get opened like this. So now let us say that there is a motor. Okay, so this motor is operated to bring the barrier to this position, right? Now closing of this barrier can be realized with the help of the operation of the same motor in the other direction, or else you can make use of a counterweight. Okay, you can make use of the counterweight to operate without the presence of the motor. Here the connection will be disconnected, and the moment you make the counterweight to operate, so obviously this will come back to this position. So again, the motor itself is responsible for both opening the gate as well as the closing gate. So let us keep it simple. The same motor is being used, so therefore I use Y433 only. If you use some other output device, then again opening the gate would become difficult, because that will be in the on position only. You will have to turn off the motor. Okay, so these are some of the devices, and of course you have got one more, that is the main gate. So let me call this as Y434. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 output devices. So 5 output devices, and of course 8 input devices are required for me to draw the ladder diagram here. So let us try to draw the ladder diagram. Now once you understand the problem, once you conceive it, right, so how it looks like, then writing a ladder diagram should not be a problem here. So let us draw the ladder diagram. Now while drawing the ladder diagram, what I need to consider is the yard switches 1 and 2 operating their respective master control relays 1 and 2, right? So let me draw the power rails here. So the first one here is my yard switch 1, and the second one here will be my yard switch 2, which are to operate the master control relays 1 and 2. So my yard switch 1, I had considered it as X400. This is X400 and this is X401 and this is MC1 and this is MC2, the master control relay 1, or MC, you can take it as MCR also, MCR1, MCR2. Now from here I have to take a diversion, but before that I have to introduce my MCR coil here, that is MCR1. All of you know it, how to do this. So now once I introduce my master control relay coil in the power rail, I have to start with the first process, wherein the two momentary switches, that I will take it as 1 and 2, and in my case it is X402 and X403, and of course I have to take a normally closed liquid level indicator, because this liquid level indicator has to turn off the motor. So therefore this is Y430, the motor, if I am right, motor is Y430, correct. So this liquid level indicator is X404. Let me see, X404, and I have to keep this in the latched operation. So therefore this is Y430. Please recall this. The momentary closure of X402 and 403 simultaneously would turn on the motor Y430. Therefore you can indicate 2. Now this is what is the first part here. Then
Sir, you're not audible, sir.
I will come to the second part. Yeah, I would introduce my MCR coil of the second MCR, that is MCR
here, and now I will to go with the position sensor, wherein I have to make use of set reset coins. So you have already studied about the set reset coins. So therefore, now I would bring my input, and here I will use this input to set the output. So this input now happens to be X405. Let us see what is X405, position sensor 1. Okay, and this one will now set your output Y433. I will properly. Y433. It will set Y433. Now, we have come to the position where the barrier is open now, right? So now, in order to close the barrier, right, we have to go to the next input, is Y433. Sorry, the next input is the position sensor 2, that is X406. Right? I have already explained this, how exactly we. Now I use one more sensor here, then one more output device, something like this. So this is for resetting. This is X406, Y433. Please note that the opening of the barrier as well as the closing of the barrier takes place due to the same motor. The motor is assumed to be operating in both the directions, and both opening as well as closing of the barrier takes place. Okay. So then, followed by this, I have one more switch, that is, let me call this as X407. Let me see, X407. Yes, this is the alarm signal. So this X407 will activate the output Y434, Y434, and I should use one more rung here, that is to reset the first MCR here. I think we have used that MCR1, and here I'll be using MCR2, masker control relay reset 2. So this is the overall ladder diagram as per our requirement. This is motor on. This is motor off. So this is main gate. So somewhere here we will have the end instruction also, as long as the total operation is limited to only two processes. However, if there are different processes, you will be able to have some more also, and in the same process, if you have some more, depending upon what is required, you can include those runs as well before you reset the corresponding master control regime. So now, for this, I think we have to write the instructions. Writing the instructions here becomes relatively simple after having seen so many examples here. Right? So anyway, we will write the instructions here. So if there is any mistake, please correct me. LD X400 MC M100. Let me call this as M100 as usual. This as M101. The master control relay. They are also identified as if they are the internal relays. LD X400 MC M100, then LD X401 MC M101. This is as long as the switches and corresponding master control relays are concerned. Then after that, we have MC M100, then LD X402 AND X403 ORP. All of you should be able to follow this. We have done so many examples. ORP Y430, then AN. After having all these branches, you have X404 because your X404 is a normally closed switch. So then comes out Y430, out Y430, ELD. I have come to this run now. ELD X. I have used 404. Twice here. Yeah, same thing, right? So LD X404, LD X404, then out Y431, out Y432, out Y432, then MCR M100. I have gone into setting of this MCR M100. Next, we have MC M101 LD X LD X405 set Y433 LD X406 reset Y433 reset Y433, then again X407 out Y434 MCR 102. So these are the instructions which I am supposed to write for this particular program, and I hope you are also trying it parallelly. So with this, I will stop this particular problem.